Okay, did anybody else look at her in this movie and just think of her the whole time? This girl was everywhere in the 90s. Whatever happened to her? I had a huge crush on that girl. Oh, yeah, so the movie. So Miss Peregrine's Home for the Peculiar Children tells a story of this boy, Jake, played by Asa Butterfield. He grows up being told these stories by his grandfather, kind of like bedtime stories of this magical home ran by Miss Peregrine, where all these kids with all these different abilities and different quirks can go and they can live in peace and happiness. And after his grandfather befalls this really strange and grim set of circumstances, he goes out trying to figure out, okay, is this really a story that I've been told my whole life, or is this Home for Peculiar Children actually real? This is the latest movie directed by the polarizing director Tim Burton. Now, I gotta be honest, just up front, I've never been a fan of Tim Burton. None of his movies do it for me. I know that there's people out there that swear by his movies. They think he's an absolute artist, a genius. They put his movies up at the top of the list. Just, it's never done it for me. I've never been attached to these movies. I've never been affected by them the way that a lot of people are. I was always a fan of Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure growing up, and there's parts of Beetlejuice that I like. There's parts of Edward Scissorhands that I like, but really that's about it. I thought his Willy Wonka remake was absolutely horrible. I thought that his Planet of the Apes remake was even worse, and a lot of his other fantastical, weird Johnny Depp movies, they've never done it for me. This movie is based off of a novel by author Ransom Riggs, and this is the main reason why I went to see it, because my girlfriend's a huge fan of the book. She really wanted to see this movie, and I look at the trailer and I'm like, okay, Tim Burton looks like he's taking a break from his usual shtick. He doesn't have Johnny Depp, he doesn't have his wife in this. Maybe it'll be something different. And I will give a little bit of a credit that this is his least Tim Burton-ish film that he's done in a while. It's not really super over-the-top weird. It's not like a little picture book that kind of came to life. It does have some of those elements, but it's a lot more subtle in this movie than it is in, say, Alice in Wonderland. All that being said, I had the same problem with this movie that I have with all of Tim Burton's movies. This guy, to me, is just all style and very little substance. Starting off with the good, I thought Eva Green did a really good job playing Miss Peregrine. I like that actress a lot. I think that she actually fits really well into the Tim Burton world. You could tell that her role could have easily probably been played by Helena Bonham Carter, his wife, and he probably just kind of tried to give her a day off in this movie, but Eva Green did really well. I liked some of the kids, some of their powers, like the little twins. I was wondering the whole movie what the hell those twins were doing around there. They were just wearing these little sacks over their faces, and whenever that was revealed, I was like, damn, why don't they use their powers more? This movie could have been over in 20 minutes. Samuel Jackson does all right in this. He plays the main villain, and I always love seeing Samuel, but his villain didn't really appeal to me in this movie. I don't know if it's the way that he's written in the book, so if it is actually the way that he's supposed to be doing it, but his character just wasn't all that menacing to me. He wasn't really that threatening. He just kind of whistled through his evil plan, and his whole sense of villainy was played for laughs. He was just kind of joking around the whole time. Really, my main negative with this movie is Asa Butterfield. He's the main character. He's the main actor. I've never really seen this guy act. I don't have any experience with his previous movies. I haven't seen Ender's Game or anything like that, so this was really my first exposure to Asa. And he's boring as hell in this. You know, his character is just flat. The way that he delivers some of his lines, and again, I don't know if it's the way that the character is in the book or the way it is in the movie, but it's just really unappealing to me. He's very boring to watch. 80% of his dialogue is just walking around asking questions. What is that? Why is that? Well, who is she? What should I do now? Should I do that? And to me, it just felt like a lazy form of storytelling. It's like the director or the writer couldn't find any way to just organically let the story unfold. So the whole story, about, like I said, 80% of it is literally just us getting things explained to us by Asa Butterfield as kind of a medium, and it was just really uninteresting to watch. I was bored through 90% of this movie. One part of the storytelling that I thought they really dropped the ball in this was kind of explaining the elements of time travel that are in this. It's easy to absorb in the first 2/3 of the movie, but where the movie goes in its climax, and especially the last 5 to 10 minutes of this movie, it hangs a lot on the rules of time travel. And to me, the way that things turned out and the way that some things changed and the way that some characters' fates changed, it really didn't make sense to me. I kind of found myself scratching my head looking at the screen going, wait, wait, what? Whether I'm a fan of Tim Burton or not, I always give the guy credit. He's a very unique filmmaker, and his visual style, you can literally look at a trailer, look at a movie, look at a cover of a DVD or a Blu-ray, and you go, yeah, that's Tim Burton. And that's something that's really hard to do as a director, and that's something I always commend him for, is that he's unique. He's his own filmmaker. And the production value in this movie, like I said, it's kind of scaled down a bit from his usual extreme weirdness, but it's very good in this as well. All like the house, the way that the Welsh island is portrayed, all the production value in this, the costumes, it's all really good. It all looks really good. It's nice and polished. Unfortunately, what lays underneath that, though, is just a really boring, uninteresting story to me. I wasn't engaged with the main character at all, and that's something that really is a flaw in your movie. If you're not attached to the main character that 90% of the plot is hanging on, what do you have? So to wrap this all up, guys, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children is another edition of the Tim Burton world. I think if you're a huge Tim Burton fan, or if you're a huge fan of the novel like my girlfriend, she walked away loving this, you're probably going to walk away liking it a lot too. But it's just a fan of film walking in, all of the magic and the fantastical world that he sets up in this is really just muddled by a very boring, uninterested protagonist. I'm still waiting around for Tim Burton to give us something that's really going to turn me over into his corner and make me a fan. But for now, I'm going to have to tell you to skip it. So what did you guys think of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children? Put your thoughts in the film below. Please like and share this video and hit that subscribe button. That way you get to come back and see me next time. But if that's not soon enough to check out some more of my videos, you can check out a few more by clicking right over here.